Hope you had a good summer. I know that summer ends faster than you want it to. I think this past summer felt like one of the fastest summers of my adult life. And I know this is an exciting time. You're in this room because you are new to high school at Southlake. I know a lot of you are new to Southlake, so we welcome you to the school. I know that as I look at your faces, that this is not exactly the way we would like to start school. And I know that's a disappointment to people. We've had a lot of conversations about that, and so I won't rehash a lot of that here. But I want to reassure you that we did this last year, and we had a good school year. And we're going to have a good school year this year as well. And we're going to be flexible, and we're going to roll with whatever circumstances come our way over the course of the year, just as we did last year. And we're going to make the most of a difficult circumstance. And we're going to enjoy high school this year. I'm looking forward to football season starting back. And I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time outdoors. And I'm looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you during your time here at Southlake. So my name is Matt Curlin, and I'm the head of school. And I've been in this position for 3 years. This is my 4th fall, starting in 2 days. And so I do look forward to getting to know you parents. You know that those of you who've been here for a while, you know that your teachers and your administrators and me, we each have open doors, open email inboxes. We take phone calls, we return phone calls. We want to be as accessible to you as possible. So if you ever have a question, a concern, a problem, a compliment, or you just want to take some time to get to know one of us, by all means reach out. We are here to be your help and to be your students' teachers, and we know that this takes cooperative relationships between you and us to make this work. So we really appreciate your confidence in Southlake, and we look forward to the year ahead. I'm going to say a brief prayer and then turn this over to Mrs. Mackla, who's our upper school head. So will you pray with me? Our God, we pause at the beginning of this fall, and we ask for your wisdom and your guidance. I pray for each of these students as they start their new journey here at Southlake, that you would calm nerves and fears, that you would bring encouragement and strength and endurance for the days ahead. We know there will be challenges. We know that academics and social circumstances will bring challenges to each of these students. But we trust that you are sovereign, that you are a great teacher, that you are with us to the ends of the earth. So we place our trust in you and ask that you would guide each of us for the coming school year. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
It's so good to see y'all. After the 2 months of no students during the summer, it's just not school without you guys, so I'm so glad to see your faces and can't wait for Wednesday to get started. Welcome to Southlake Upper School. I wanted to just reiterate a couple of things that you already know. You chose to be here. You parents, you've made a sacrifice for your child to be here. So you know we have strong academics. We have excellent teachers. We have an excellent instructional program. We also have a strong culture here, a Southlake culture that many people call this family. Some people call it community. Either way, there's a close-knit feel here, and I can't wait for you to experience that. For those of you that are brand new to Southlake, I encourage you to jump in and become a part of this community and family and join us. And we want to partner with you, and the partnership is so important to us, as Dr. Curlin said. I wanted to let you know that you're going to hear a lot about these values over the next 4 years while you're here. We build our culture on 4 core values, and the way you can remember these core values is jerk. Jerk spelled with an I. English teachers, cover your ears. So joy, integrity, respect, and kindness. These are the way we form our policies, we form our behavior program, we form our culture around these values. So I wanted to just introduce those to you. You're going to get a lot of information today, hopefully not too much. We've tried to make it bite-sized so you will not be overwhelmed. You've got some information in your packets that you can take and peruse when you get home. And today you're going to hear from some of us. Then we're going to release you, and you can walk your child's schedule. I encourage you to start with A block and walk it so they know, they get a feel for how long it takes them to get to the next class, especially if they're in the first building where the Spanish classes are. So that will go, you can do their lockers, visit their lockers. It's on your sheet there, and find where their lockers are. So I want to let you know about a couple of things. This is just general information. We have an E block in the upper school. This is every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, you know, we have a different schedule because of our chapel that we have every Wednesday. So we also, at the end of every Wednesday, is an E block, and that's an enhanced learning block where your student can take classes on disc golf or robotics, or even we have test prep. We have some ACT, SAT test prep, which I know they'll be really excited about, but you parents would be really excited about that. So the last block of every Wednesday is that, and that's your student gets to choose which class they take. It rotates so they can take 4 of these classes throughout the school year. So that's something that's distinctive of the upper school that will be new to you. I encourage you to look at the dress code, review the dress code. I sent it out at least once this summer, and so I really encourage you to pay attention to the 5-inch inseam for the shorts. We're going to be pretty strict about that, so make sure any shorts you buy have at least a 5-inch inseam. I'm very excited right now to introduce to you our freshman teachers. I know there's some juniors and sophomores in here as well, but the majority of you are freshmen. So I'll introduce you to your teachers. So when I call your name, if you would just stand up and wave and take your mask off so they can see who you are. Let's start with Ashley Wilson, who's the ELA, English and Comp teacher. So, and Ashley also heads our student leadership, which is student council, and they're very, very active here. And while I'm there, would you guys stand up, please? These are members of our student leadership team right here, and just wave. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much for coming and serving here today. They serve this school in so many ways. They served our teachers this morning breakfast, and they have been meeting all summer long to just have a very robust student leadership program. We're very excited about that. Nathan Simpson, he will be Bible and math and algebra. If your student has algebra, he will teach them. Nick Wilson. Where's Nick? I know he's here. I saw him earlier. Okay, if he comes in, somebody holler at me. Andrea Harkey. She will be geometry. She'll have, and maybe some of you older students may have her for AFM, math. William King. William will be teaching some Bible, freshman and sophomore Bible classes. Donovan Law. Donovan is a freshman history teacher, so you'll study the first part of Western Civ basically with Donovan. Chris Hunt. Yes, Chris is the Spanish 1 teacher, so many of you will have him for Spanish. Marcus Mims, did Marcus make it? I don't think he was not here, yeah. So those are our freshman teachers, and you'll be able to meet them and speak with them more as you're walking around the school today. I have 3 students that I would like to come up. Katie and Levi and Amber. If you guys would come up here. Akana, sorry. Perfect. I'm going to ask them some questions, and they're going to just give you, from their point of view, from their perspective, what South Lake Upper School is like. So the first question is, what is your favorite student life event? And why don't you can go ahead and take your mask off when you answer these questions, since you've been here at high school. Introduce yourself first.
I'm Amber Doty. I am a rising junior. My favorite event is by far Wendy Gap. It takes place generally in the beginning of the year, and it is such an amazing experience for not only the high school as a whole to bond, but particularly within your grade, especially if you're just a new student in general. It really connects you as it provides an opportunity for special experiences and memories.
I'm Katie Reeves, and I'm a rising sophomore here. And I would say my favorite event is probably Missions Week, because it gives us this awesome opportunity to partner with our community and serve them and use our resources to help them.
Hi, I'm Connor Gosha. I'm a rising senior, and I would say one of the most fun things right here is like the Friday football games. I mean, like just going out there, cheering on for our school, showing our school pride. It's pretty cool, to watch you play, hang out with friends and stuff. It's pretty cool. And we didn't have it last year, so I feel like this year's gonna be even more fun.
And briefly describe describe South Lake academics.
I'd say it's very hands-on. Being a small school allows for not so packed classrooms, leaving your teachers to truly help you with the specific issue you're meeting, not necessarily what the class as a whole is struggling on.
And going off what Amber said, if you ever have like a question or a concern, reach out to your teachers because they will help you. And as long as you stay organized and all of that, then you'll be great.
Yeah, I would say academics are really cool. Got really cool classes, and you got really great teachers here. They'll help you with everything, and they're just the nicest and the most fun people. And, it's cool.
Thank you. And briefly describe your spiritual growth since you've been in the how South Lake Upper School has impacted your spiritual growth.
I'd say SMF, or Student Mission Fellowship, has had by far the biggest impact on my spiritual through South Lake. It provides not only close bonds with some of the heads of that organization in regards to your faith, but the students, which is, I believe, very important in any teenager's growth with God.
I 100% agree with Amber, because SMF works really hard to connect with the community, and being able to go and meet with the children of Caterpillar and really help them to know how much Jesus loves them is just amazing.
I would say for me that the time that I felt like close to God, spiritual stuff was Windy Gap. 3 years I went. It was really cool. I mean, we have chapel here and stuff, but just Windy Gap, it's just a different experience, different place. With your friends and everything, you just feel really good. It's great. You guys should be looking forward to it.
And lastly, what advice do you have for these new students and freshmen?
I'd say don't listen to the stigmas in regards to teachers and classes. There's always going to be people that say, oh, this is really hard, or this you're not going to be able to make it through, when in fact for some people that could be your easiest class all year. I had that happen to me this year with algebra too. But also that regards to the classes everyone says are super easy. If you let that, oh, I don't have to study extra hard for that, everyone says it's easy, then, it can catch up on you. So just don't listen to the stigma and truly try your best.
I would say get involved here at South Lake. There's a bunch of organizations and even sports teams, and it's a great way to meet people and get to know everybody that you see every day.
Yeah, I totally agree with them too. Get involved and do well in school, try hard. What I would say is just have fun, You got 4 more years left, just cherish them, make memories, make new friends, have a good time.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. If you'll be seated. Can you give them a hand? So next, we're going to have some folks come up and speak to you about their area of expertise. So Ms. Thomas, if you would come first. And then Ms. Leonard, you'll be next. Mr. Everett, is he here? I'm not sure. Mr. Haney will be next. Mr. Bass, and you guys come up, and then Ms. Ledford will come. Ms. Ledford, and then we'll end it with Mr. Springer.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Thomas. I'm the head of the middle school here. I am also all things scheduling for Southlake. So you have seen emails from me throughout the summer regarding course selection and schedules. I want to talk a little bit about the overarching structure of the schedule, but before I do that, I feel like there are some concerns that are floating about that I want to go ahead and address right now. The first is you should have gotten a copy of your schedule when you got here, but if you lose it on the way out or already lost it, the schedules will be visible in RenWeb this afternoon. I gave a presentation at 9 and 10:30 today, and again now at 1. So as soon as I stop talking to people about the schedules will go live in RenWeb. So that will happen this afternoon. You will be able to see those on RenWeb. You can print them from there. You can, so don't worry if you lose your schedule. The second thing that I think is important for you to know is that we are currently in a blackout period for scheduling changes. And that's because we are spending our time trying to get the school year kicked off. If you requested something during the blackout period and you have not heard back from me, it is only because I've been busy trying to get the school year started. I have not forgotten you. I promise I will review your request and try to get it implemented before the first day of school. If not, you will have until the following Friday, so Friday the 20th, you will have an opportunity to request changes to your schedule. Those requests will be made using a paper form that will be available beginning the first day of school at Ms. Saunders' window. So let me talk briefly about the schedule and how it works. If you are a returning student and you are graduated from middle school to high school, one of the most important things about our schedule is already familiar to you, which is the Blue Gold Wednesday rotation. So for those of you who are new, Southlake's schedule works on a block. And so there are 4 1-credit blocks available each semester in blocks A, B, C, and D. If the credit is a half-credit class, then it's going to be listed as A1 or A2, depending on if the class meets on Mondays and Thursdays, or if the class meets on Tuesdays and Fridays, which if you know your days of the week, and I sure hope you do by the time you're this old, that leaves Wednesday missing. What we do with Wednesdays is we rotate the Wednesdays. Blue Wednesdays are 1 on your schedule. That means they match Monday and Thursday. So if we're in a blue week, then you'll have the same classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If we are in a gold week, the gold classes match the number 2 on your schedule. So if you see a class that meets on Tuesdays and Fridays or is listed as a 2 in the section number, that means that on gold weeks, you'll have classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's how that rotation works. We have found a really great side effect of moving to the block schedule in that it has actually allowed students to have a little bit more flexibility in their schedule. It was kind of a side effect that we weren't expecting. But if there are courses that don't fit in your schedule in 1 year, please rest assured that we will do everything we can to get you the classes that you want to take before you walk across our stage at graduation. So when I assign classes that are filling, they go to seniors first because it's their last shot. And then we work our way down to freshmen. So I know there are a lot of freshmen in the room. For those of you that did not get your first choice request for electives, I'm super sorry. I promise that Mr. Johnson and I spent many, many hours. He has chosen not to acknowledge the number of hours that we spent. pretty much the entire month of June working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, trying to make the schedule work as best as we possibly could for you. So if you didn't get something you want, I'm really sorry, but it was not for lack of trying, I promise. So that's how our schedule works. And then we reset that whole thing in the spring. So you take 1 credit classes every day or half credit classes on blue or gold rotations in the fall. And then in January, you come back and you take a whole different set of classes in the spring following that same rotation. There are a couple of exceptions. I know that there are some upperclassmen in the room. There are some upper level science and math classes that are on a year-long rotating schedule for 1 credit. AP Calculus, AB and BC, AP Stats, AP US History, Pre-Cal Honors, AP Computer Science, AP Biology, and AP Chemistry. I think I got them all. So those classes are on a rotation. You have, if you are a sophomore or beyond, you have the opportunity to take health. Health is offered only as an online class at Southlake. It is offered in the summer for an additional charge, or you can take it during the school year in the semester of your choosing. Information about online health will go out to all sophomores after the school year has begun. We used to do it in the summer. We found out too many people changed their minds. So we let you get into the process of your schedule and feel what that workload is going to be. And then we ask you if you would rather take that online health class in the fall or in the spring. If you're a sophomore, if you're a junior or a senior, you should have already taken it, or we're going to make sure that you get it into your schedule ASAP. If you're a freshman, it will be available to you if there is room. So if there's room in an online section and you want to go ahead and knock it out, you can. Our PE credit is a little bit unique here as well. You can choose to take one of our physical education courses that is offered during the school day, like weight training, physical conditioning, or the like. Your other option is to play a sport for the school. About 95% of our students do play a sport of some sort or another during the school year. And because they more than meet the number of required hours of instruction and practice to meet the state requirement for physical education, we go ahead and give you credit for participation in a sport, and that does meet your PE requirement. So you don't have to take PE, but if you don't play a sport, you will need to take PE. Many people choose to play a sport. I'm looking at my list that Mrs. Mackla asked me to do. I think I covered it all. Is there anything else that you have regarding, let's see. Questions? Oh no, changes. I talked about that. Yep, that's it, that's all. So the next person up is Mrs. Leonard.
Hello everybody, it's great to see you all. I'm Rebecca Leonard. I'm the Associate Head of School. This is my 22nd year at Southlake. I can hardly believe that. Yes, it's unbelievable. Going on my 34th year in education. Now that is the truly scary number because it tells my age. Yes. So I'm really glad to be here with you all today. The reason I'm here right now is because one of my responsibilities is I'm in charge of our Academic Development Center here at Southlake. So many years ago when I first came to Southlake, that was my position, was to start the Academic Development Center. And what that is it's a way of referring to the programs that we have at Southlake that help students who have some learning difference. So if you have a student who has a learning difference, it's really a good idea just to let me know about it. Even if they don't need to participate in one of the programs we offer, it's good for me to know so we can keep an eye on them. Also, Southlake is one of the only private Christian schools in the area who has this kind of intensive option for students with a learning difference, but we also allow accommodations for students who need them. We have the basic accommodations such as extended time and being able to test in a separate room if you need those things. So if you have any concern about your student having a learning difference, please contact me and I'm happy to do whatever we have the resources to do for your child. Another one of my responsibilities at Southlake is I'm in charge of all the testing that happens here. So everything from the PSAT, and for the 9th grade students, you guys will take the PSAT 8-9. And what that does is it gives us a baseline idea of how you might do when you take the PSAT that 11th or 10th and 11th graders take. And also sort of introduces you to those College Board kinds of tests. We also offer the SAT now at Southlake. And so that's something we haven't done in the past. We're really excited to be able to do that. It's great for kids to be able to take the SAT in their normal school environment. Another thing that 9th grade students will take is you will take the Comprehensive Testing Program 5, which is an achievement test. So that PSAT 8-9 does not qualify as an achievement test, and the North Carolina Department of Education requires us to give an achievement test every year. So that will be in the spring. And it's over in a couple of days, and it'll be fine. So if you have any questions about your testing, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. My office is here in the upper school now, in this corner right over here. So let me know how I can help you.
I'd like to say that to all of you that are here, certainly to the parents and the students, just to welcome you to the start of a new school year. My name is Greg Everett. I have the opportunity to serve as the IT director, and Mr. Ian Johnson assists me, and certainly the teachers that are in the classroom have a wealth of knowledge in reference to age your child. My goal is to just kind of share with you just some information about our one-to-one program, and I'm just going to go through some things that I think is going to be expected for the students to kind of have some understanding of how things work when it comes to the technology. First and foremost, I think most of you are pretty much aware that all of these students have been here for a while. To the new students, we try to create a system to make sure that you can communicate with the staff. Mr. Johnson and I, we have an email that's set up, and I'll make sure that the students get this information in the form of a PowerPoint or the PDF. But the SLCA help desk at gmail.com is the way in which we want students and parents, if you're having issues at home with your iPad, to communicate with us with whatever is going on, and we will try to do our best to respond. And so with that being said, I do ask that you go back to the SLCA technology agreement, just read through that to make sure that the guidelines that we ask that you follow in regards to the school, that you are honoring those. One of the other things that's going to be helpful as part of the technology also, as I handle and Mr. Johnson, we all both have the capability to do so, is all students are given an ID badge for the high school. In fact, we do grades 7 through 8 to allow them access into the doors. And so we're asking students to carry that card with them in order to get in and out of their doors between the buildings. And so oftentimes we do know that students either forget that card, and perhaps many of them rely on their friends to allow them to get into the doors. So we please, if you can, parents, help us to make sure that we are able to allow your child in and out of doors. When we do have lockdowns and drills, sometimes students may be passing between, and certainly that ID badge may not be on them. And in case a student loses, or if, again, it malfunctions, we do have the ability to reprint ID cards, and the cost of that is $7. I want to talk about this care of the iPad. We always ask students that when we give you or distribute the iPads to you, and for the 9th graders that are here, if you have time, parents, Mr. Johnson and I will be in the library, in the media center here, just immediately after this session is over, and we're going to distribute those iPads. And when we do that, we will distribute them with a charging block and a charging cable. And so we're asking that, again, students be prepared for class, keep the iPads charged, and also often there are times that you will need to do updates. Students will come to school and their iPads at 10 or 20%. You're not going to be effective in the classroom, and some students have managed to get through the day, but the goal is we're asking you to make sure that your child is prepared when they come to class. The next thing about that in regards to the iPad, often there are accidents. We're in our third year, now moving into our fourth year, so we have found a local company that has agreed to take care of any damaged iPads, and that charge or that cost is going to be put on the parents to take care of that fee in case there is a damage. Sometimes students will wait weeks before they say something, but we ask you, again, my office is in the first building, but we ask you to please come to us as soon as possible so that we can make the replacement for you, that you don't lose any time within the classroom and assignments. We also provide students with a network login, so if you're in the graphic design class, you will need to access those computers. And we also give several accounts. We give an Office 365 account. We also give a Google Drive account, or for those that are familiar with G Suite. And these accounts are basically for students to be able to gain access to the software. We have one special caveat feature for many students that are creative and like to get into Adobe, but again, that is by request only, and certainly by some teachers that are teaching photography and graphic designs. But if you have a student that's interested in Adobe Creative Suite, we personally ask that you come to see us, and we have licenses that we will be able to provide. Again, the Wi-Fi password to all of the students, you should be familiar, but if you are new here, the SL GuestNet is senior 16, the senior, the S is capital. So if you need access to that, teachers do have the ability to share that as you enter into your classes, but you will also receive all this in this PDF. And then finally, for all of you who have the iPads, we do ask that you be prepared to print. We have a printer in the first building as well. Some students have gone to Ms. Sonia Saunders to print their assignments, but we're trying to redirect that traffic and that path so that you can come down and print to the printer that has been provided. In closing, I just again want to say that I've been in the classroom for well over 24 years, so I'm familiar with what students have a desire and want to, again, see you all successful. But my role here is to serve in the role of technology and to provide safety, again, with the use of the device. We manage these devices through a piece of software called Mosel, and we assign an Apple ID to every student. I want to say to every parent, the students cannot use this Apple ID to purchase anything in the Apple Store. It's only used as an account to allow them to use the apps that we provide through the Mosel Manager. So in case you do have some concerns or issues around that, the first point of reference that I would suggest is it's just management from parent to student. And then as a school, we do our part. But our goal is to have you to be successful as you see this transition of the one-to-one program and the students in the school. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Haney. I'm in my 10th school year as the athletic director at Southlake Christian. I'm really excited to get this year going, and it's so good to see you all in the stands and these familiar faces I've not gotten to see over the summer. We have a very vibrant, and I'll say still growing program at Southlake Christian. We have 14 different sports that we offer, and that encompasses 38 different teams. So we have one of the largest athletic programs in the state as far as the private schools, and I think that's a real testament to just our whole ministry here and to a lot of you. I also want to mention we have a really deep and talented collection of coaches. I am blessed to have hired a lot of good coaches, and we've maintained a lot of these coaches, and they're just outstanding. I think that's a big part of why the athletic program is successful. Many of them are in the stands right now or on the stage over there. Some are community coaches, and they work outside of the school, but we're really blessed with coaches, so always appreciate them. So this fall of 2021, a few of our teams have already had their tryouts and have already at their roster levels, but we still have some openings and some things I want to tell you about. Varsity Football, they've been practicing for a week or so now, but we still have positions available there. And I say positions, not set positions, just roster slots, so we'd love to have more participation there. We have a 10-game varsity football schedule planned. One game has come off, and that's nothing to do with us, it just has to do with that other school, but we'll plan to fill that really quickly. So looking forward to that. Varsity boys soccer, we have a new coach there, and he's off to an outstanding start. And we need some more folks participating there. Varsity girls tennis, that's our 7th through 12th graders. Rob Land's our coach there, and they've been practicing for a week or so as well, but we'd love to have some more out there. Varsity co-ed cross country. Coach Wilson, I saw him earlier, but he runs our middle school and our varsity program, and we always love to have a lot of runners in that. New this year is varsity girls golf. So that's 7th through 12th graders. Varsity girls golf is offered in the fall with our state association. We only have 3 or 4 players right now, so we'd love to have some more girls playing golf. Real quickly, our state association, we're in what's called the NCISAA. They're based out of Charlotte, and that covers all the private schools in North Carolina and 1 or 2 in some other states. Don't let that be confusing to you with the NCHSAA. I'll get a lot of emails and calls saying, hey, I'm hearing there's a new development here or there. That's the Public School Association. And we mirror some of the things they do, but not everything. So we have our own association. Our conference, our main conference is called the MAC. It's the Metrolina Athletic Conference. That's what most of our sports play in. Football is a different conference. There's a football-only conference that's pretty local, and it's called the PAC, the Piedmont Athletic Conference. Back to the MAC real quick, there's 8 schools, so we have 7 opponents that we play most of our games with against there. And one last thing, as far as our state association, we are considered a 3A level school. So it used to just go up to 3, now it's up to 4A, and we're in the 3A. So we're kind of in the right zone where we need to be, and that's based purely on 9th through 12th grade enrollment. So we're in a 3A school if you're ever asked. I want to touch base real quick on trying different sports. So as I said, we have 14 different sports here. I would encourage you young folks to try a variety of sports. It's fun, you're around different teammates, you're around different coaches that way, and frankly, it's just good for your body. Now, if you like to focus on one sport, absolutely, that's fun. At some point you may decide that's best for you, and if you really enjoy that, great. But I would also encourage you to try some different sports, because there's a lot of advantages to that. Our athletic handbook, it can be found on the website. We're doing a few more tweaks to it even this week. The state association I referenced earlier, they still are having a few things that will come out that will dictate what we then have in our handbook, and so be looking for that. Any of the teams you do join, all the schedules are on the website, so you can go to that and see. Just go to team pages and go to fall sports in this case, and then you'll be able to find the game schedules. That does change some, and we try to update those really quickly, but as teams are now starting to practice and schools beginning, we get updates from even our opponents saying, hey, we're going to have this team or we're not going to have that team. So we'll keep that updated as fast as possible. Lastly, just want to encourage you to please join the Eagle Club. The Eagle Club supports every one of our sports for the whole school year. Some of the officers, in fact, of the Eagle Club are here right now. But it's just it's a voluntary group. It's parents that just want to be involved and help. It helps with our athletic facilities, championship banners, helps with team meals and things like that. So please consider joining the Eagle Club. Thank you all. Look forward to seeing you this year.
Good afternoon, my name is Jose Baz, and this is my 8th year as the Fine Arts Director here in Southlake Christian Academy and my 26th year in the classroom. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to build a relationship with parents, with students, and with a great family at Southlake Christian Academy. And the Fine Arts Department is an ongoing program that consists of the Orchestra program, the Choral Program, and the Art and Drama programs at this moment. And so I am very blessed to be able to count with a team of wonderful teachers. In high school, we have my colleague Marianne Falls, who is our choral director and the drama director. We also have Marcos Mims. He's not here with us today, but you're going to get to see him. He's the art teacher. And we have different concerts. Usually we have different concerts during the year. At the end of each semester, we have our 2 major concerts that students are going to be participating. But before I jump into the concerts, as far as the performing the musical performance programs, students will have the opportunity to be part of the orchestra, the Symphony Orchestra program, which is consisting of strings instruments, woodwinds, brass, and percussion instruments, violin, viola, cello on the strings, the woodwind, flute, clarinet, alto sax, and oboe, the brass, trumpet, trombone, baritone, and what's else? And the tuba. And basically, and percussion, all kinds of percussion instruments. So if you have never taken any instruments before, please don't be intimidated for that. You have the opportunity to have instruction, tutorials on how to learn and practice your own instruments. Also, the choral program, I'm going to let you with my colleague Marianne Falls. She's going to talk to you about the choral program and the drama program.
All right, this is my second year at Southlake, although it's my so many years, 23rd year in the classroom and my 30-somethingth year in music education. I used to do a lot of private lessons, and I worked in preschools. I've worked everywhere. And I am a singer as well. So the choral department I was all about singing, so if y'all like to sing, come join me. If you find that your D block is actually kind of open and you want to try choir, come join me. If it's not, don't fret, we can do this again next year. I see a few of my returnees from last year, which I love. We have such a great time in choir, entirely too much laughing, and I'm always shocked that, well, I was absolutely shocked that we got as much accomplished as we did because we spent half the time laughing. I also do the musical, which is going to be in March, and I will get out more information to you when that, it has not been revealed what the musical will be yet, but it will be a musical, and would love to have as many of you involved as possible. We just have a great time in the performing arts, and I would love to meet you and learn about you and establish a relationship with you that we have in choir.
Some students and parents, they have asked me the question about whether they can be in orchestra and choir at the same time, and the answer is you have to enroll in one of them. However, you can participate. If you're enrolled in choir, you will receive a grade from the choir program, but that doesn't mean that you cannot be part of the orchestra. You can join the orchestra and vice versa. So Mrs. Falls and I, we work together, and we have a number of students who are participating in both programs, so that's not a problem at all. You just need to let us know, and we make arrangements to accommodate you. The other things, and one last thing that I wanted to let you know this year, after COVID and all those things, that's part of the past, but anyhow, we are going to resume and reactivate our Parent-Student Association for Fine Arts, which is the Fine Arts Booster Club. And so you're going to be hearing a lot of that during this semester, different activities, these different opportunities for you to get involved and encourage your children to be involved in the arts, in the expressive arts. And so that's a great opportunity for you enrich, be part of your children's education. Well, thank you very much. So that's all for now.
Good afternoon. My name is Kristen Ledford. I'm speaking as the head of Student Mission Fellowship, which a couple of students have already spoken about. I'm gonna make this pretty brief because we are a little over time. So Student Mission Fellowship is a student-led organization that's open to all students, 9th through 12th grade. We have weekly meetings on Thursday at lunch in the mezzanine. Student Mission Fellowship organizes and leads Missions Week here at Southlake. We do partner with other ministries like Caterpillar and other local ministries. All students are welcome. Our first meeting will be Thursday, August 19th at lunch in the mezzanine.
Hey, Windy Gap is a thing that you should be really excited about, and it is coming up the 15th, 16th, and 17th of September. We are taking your children 9th through 12th grade. We are going to a Young Life camp that I've been going to personally since 1992. It is in Weaverville, North Carolina. You can look it up, windygap.younglife.org, and it'll show you all the awesome things to do. Freshmen, there's competitions against all the other classes, and this is a charge to all the freshmen. The sophomores didn't get to go last year, so they have no clue what's coming, nor do you. So I personally am giving the freshman class all of my vocal cords, all of my energy. I'm giving them to the freshman class. I'm going to lose my voice for sure for you because I want this to be like a crazy upset year. So I'm rooting for you freshmen. Who's ready to do this? Anybody? No. Okay, that's going to go terribly, terribly. All right, so the freshmen aren't going to win anything, but I'm going to root for you either way. Maybe you'll come around. Hey, the next thing you need to know about is service days. If you're a sophomore, freshman, there might be some things. That'll be in the fall. That's in April. And we've got some folks going to D.C. Sophomores, we hope to get back in touch with the Appalachian Service Project. That's what I look like. I forgot to take this thing off. Should I put it back on? Is it prettier with it back on? Don't answer that either. Appalachian Service Project is an awesome thing where we go get to work on people's homes that don't have running water or electricity or just need something fixed. And we'll be doing that again in April. That'll be April 10th through the 13th. That's 10th grade. That's about all I got. I want to give away some stuff though. And I've got all these things. Miss Brooke Hondros runs our school store, and she's got way more cool stuff than just this. But here's a hoodie, a hat. She's got these really cool t-shirts, not the ones that itch and make you feel weird, but the really soft ones. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're like, cool, Mom, give me this t-shirt, and you spend $15 and you don't wear it because it feels awful. These aren't those. So there's that. And then a water bottle. I'm sure it's BPA free and all those good things. I'm going to give all that stuff away to 3 different people. So here's what I need. I need somebody to bring me a CVS receipt. Anybody, and you win all this stuff. Anybody, any student that can bring me a CVS receipt, or a student that can bring me a gum wrapper. Anybody have a gum wrapper in their pocket? I mean, here it is. What you got? What you got? What you got? Gum! That is gum. Gum! That is a gum wrapper. Yeah! All right, CVS receipt, anybody? This ball is your ticket to go get all this stuff for free from the school store. You can do that today or tomorrow. How about an amusement park ticket? That would be a really cool one. Anybody got an amusement park ticket? Or anything Disney. Or your mom's keychain that's got way too much mess on it. You can do that. I hear keys. Nice. That is a lot of stuff. That's a lot of things. All right, what have you got? Shut up, is that really an amusement park? Yes, it is. All right, you were so close. That's what he brought too, but he got here first. Hey, so the school store is right over there, and it's insanely stocked with some really good stuff. Miss Hondros was here. She's not now, but she'd love to help you out. Hey, I am super excited for Windy Gap for a lot of reasons. Not many schools do this. It's in 3.5 weeks. We take the whole school. They get to go up there and just relax. We'll be outside. You won't wear masks. We'll just have a good time. It is not camping. It's a camp, but it is luxury. There's AC in every room, which they just put that in. It's going to be a great time. If you have any questions, you can email me. Look for an email coming out in the next week or two that'll give you some information about Windy Gap.